think I understand everything about homeschooling for high school, but what about transcripts? Great question. Let's dig in. Welcome. If you're new here, I'm Tricia, and I'm a homeschooling mom to 3 kids. My oldest is starting 11th grade this year. And I know that high school can be overwhelming. And so each week, I've got a series going where I tackle one question or concern that I hear from homeschool parents about high school, and we dig into it. So when you're done with this, make sure to go check out the rest of the playlist. It'll be at the end and down there as well. This week, transcripts. Now, I will say that I'm not concerned much about homeschooling high school. It felt pretty natural just to continue on with what we've always done. But transcripts scared me. That is the one area out of 12 years of homeschooling that I really felt overwhelmed by. But it's not been that hard, I promise. Now, one of my favorite resources for high school, and I've talked about it many times, is the Homescholarly Bins. I will leave a link down below. She has some great information, great books that are just short little reads. You can get them for free if you're Kindle Unlimited members. But she also has something called the Total Transcript Solution, and a few other different products that deal with records and transcripts. And I'll link them because I have found that to be very helpful. But even if you don't want to pay for anything, you can still do transcripts with ease. Right? So let's dig into what you need for your transcripts and record keeping for high school. So your transcripts are generally what people refer to when they say that are the grades. Okay? On this piece of paper, it's going to be your official thing that you give to colleges. So it will include all your students' information, name, address, date of birth, social security number if they request that. If you are in a state where you have to have a school name, like we do here in North Carolina, that's on there. Each class that they take with their grade, if it was a full 1 credit year long class or a half credit semester class, what their grades were, your grade average, whether you use like a straight A, B, C, D, or A plus, B, A minus scale. And then when it's official, you will also need to sign it. Okay? You can find all kinds of examples and free templates if you Google. I'll try to link a couple that I have found helpful in building mine. You can sort it you can list your courses and grades by year, if you'd like to do that. Or what I've chosen to do is do it by subject. So English, all our English classes. Science, all our science classes, that sort of thing. There's really no advantage one way or the other. For us, since she earned a couple high school credits in middle school, I decided to just do it this way instead, by subject instead. But you can do it however you want to do it. Just pick a way and do it. Now, I will say the biggest tip for me is just to get started. Don't worry about whether it all looks right and whether all the details are right to begin with. Just get started. Find a free template, and even if you don't stick with it, get it started, because often, as we know, that first step can be the hindrance for us. So don't let it be that. You'll also need course descriptions. Now, my biggest tip for you, this is a do as I say, not as I do, is to get your course descriptions written at the beginning of the year. That way you're done. Because they're not really going to change. Like your transcripts, at the beginning of the year, I have listed each subject or each course that she'll be doing, and then filled it in later. But obviously I can't do grades until the end of the year. Course descriptions, though, you can. Now, there may be something you have to go back and tweak. But for the most part, the course descriptions are going to be there. They're going to be the same. And what is it? It's just a few sentences telling colleges what your students did or what they learned in it. If you are doing an online course, the description they give for the describing class is going to be good enough. Just copy that and paste it. You can also search for your State Department of Education high school courses and use those. I don't know if every state does this, but I know there are states that do, because that's what I've referenced. And copy it and paste it, because it's going to be a pretty standard thing that colleges understand. It's just 3, 4, 5 sentences telling them what you learned. Make sure that your titles are descriptive and accurately reflect the course. If English 1, is what they did for 9th grade, okay, but maybe they did year of British literature. Maybe he spent the year, English 1 was really a medieval literature year. So put that in, because that's something that on your grades and as the title of the course description, because that's going to help your students stand out and truly reflect what they did. So those are your 2 big things, transcripts and course descriptions. Now, if your student doesn't plan to do any college afterwards, course descriptions may not be something you even need to consider. However, I would say go ahead and do it, because what they think they might do at 9th grade may not be what they decide to do in 12th grade. And so if at 12th grade they decide they want to go to college afterwards, then you have to catch up on all 4 years of course descriptions. It really doesn't take that much time. Set aside an hour at the beginning of your year and just get it done. Now, if you have a student who is doing something like plans to play NCAA, college sports, or military, please, I am not an expert in that, and I do not have even much knowledge about it. So please, if they're going to do something like that, get that information at the beginning before you start homeschooling high school, and what they need, etc. I know there is a popular NCAA homeschool high school group on Facebook. And military, I don't know what they need, which is actually something I'll need to look into. Probably my youngest anticipates doing that. But what else might you need, or a college want? Well, that's going to depend on the college. But some want reading lists to see all the books your students read in high school. Volunteer hours and what they did, where did they did it. Your homeschool philosophy, which feels really overwhelming to me, and I'm hoping nobody wants it. Extracurricular activities, sport teams, etc. A syllabus for each course, which I really hope that we don't need. And samples of work and tests. For this one, I have done a couple things. One, I've saved some paper things, just put it in a file folder and put it in my desk. Other ones I have saved, I've taken a picture of it and saved it digitally. I get the impression that those things are not requested very often, but I don't want to be the cause of my student not having it either. Now, for extracurricular activities and that sort of thing, I got a great tip from Lee Benz, again, that she would just take like a Post-it note, write down the date, the location, and the hours. Pop it somewhere in your record book, and at the end of the year, or every month, whatever, you can take those and file it away wherever, whether it was a sports practice, for the week, whatever. For some things like volunteer hours, I keep a list in my binder, but a lot of times my daughter will volunteer for something and I forget to write down in there because it's not directly part of our homeschool. So I do the Post-it notes and put it on the side of my fridge. Every few weeks or every month, couple months, I grab them out and go take them upstairs and put them in my binder. So those are some of the things that you're going to need for transcripts. Again, I will link down a few free ones for you, as well as Lee Benz's website. And I will see you over in the next homeschooling video, homeschooling for high school video.